Hello and welcome back to another video. Today guys, I am going to give you the secret. This is the one thing that has actually helped me have success with SMMA, not just getting one or two clients, but actually building a multi-six-figure business. And ultimately, if you just ignore this secret, right, you don't take stock of it, you're probably going to struggle for a very long time. Like that, you might be able to get one or even two clients, but reaching that six-figure or multi-six-figure mark is going to be really, really tough. As you can imagine, there's a very, very big difference between someone who is making 1,000 per month with their agency and someone who's pulling in, let's say, even just 10 or 20K per month with their agency. It's a very, very big difference. Now, what they do on a daily basis might be similar, but as I mentioned, there is that one key difference. And to be honest, I think you're going to be slightly underwhelmed when I tell you what this secret is. Okay, now it's not mindset, it's not staying consistent, it's not discipline, because all of those things, you need those. So if you're just not doing those, yes, you need those as well. But to be honest, I think you need those even to get one or two clients. Okay, so if you don't have those, it's going to be very unlikely for you to get that first or second client. But now let's say you have all those, right? You're motivated, you're showing up each day, you're staying consistent. To get to that next level, right, you really have to do something quite different. So before I give you the secret, I really need to just kind of explain to you why this is so important and just kind of paint the picture for you. So going to six figures or multi-six figures, you have many more clients. So you've got more responsibility. You've more clients that may potentially leave you, right, if you don't give them a good result. And you actually have more pressure now to keep that inflow of clients coming, because it's kind of a matter of fact, some clients might drop off on a monthly basis, which means that if you don't have people or businesses coming in to replace those, you're going to have a dip in your revenue and a dip in your clients. So when you have a six-figure agency, yes, you are making more money, but you have more responsibility and you have a lot more things that you have to look at on a daily basis, right? You've got your team, you've got the clients, and you've got all the operations that are going on. And so to get your first or second client, right, you can just batter away, right? You can just keep knocking on doors, calling businesses, sending out DMs, sending emails, and eventually you're probably going to get a client. But to get 10, 20, 30 clients, 40 clients that pay you every month, that same approach is not going to work, or it will take you years to get there. So the big reveal, the secret and that key difference between the two is knowing your numbers. I literally mean knowing all of your numbers. So knowing your revenue, knowing your profit margin, knowing how many contractors you need on your team for the amount of clients that you have, but knowing the exact amount of people you're reaching out to on a daily, weekly, monthly basis, and the amount of calls you're going to book in, and finally the amount of clients that you're going to bring into your agency. You see, by knowing these numbers, you can manipulate these numbers very, very easily. So if you know right now, on average, right, from all of your efforts and all of the lead generation you're doing, you're going to get 1 to 2 clients per month. You can manipulate those numbers very easily if you know those numbers. But if you do not know those numbers, you have no idea how many DMs you're sending out, you have no idea how many calls you get every week, and you have no idea when that next client is going to come, it is going to be very difficult to scale up. Now, knowing your numbers literally applies to all areas of an SMMA business, right? And pretty much any business, whether it's a consulting, coaching, or an agency, okay? So you can apply it to your staff and your hiring, right, to make sure you have enough people. You can apply it to your profit margin, okay, so always ensuring that you have a certain amount of profits with a set percentage that you found to work best for your agency. But in this case, I'm going to run you through the example of looking at your lead generation, your outreach, and basically your client acquisition strategy. Because if you know all of your numbers from the very, very start of reaching out to a business, and you know all the numbers for all the different stages that they go through until they become a client, as I mentioned, what you can do now is you can manipulate these numbers very, very easily with virtual assistants, automations, and other systems to basically up this number, to up the number of clients that you take in every month. So let's say to get your clients, you are reaching out to businesses on Instagram and LinkedIn, okay? And you're sending out 20 messages per day, which is roughly 140 messages per week. And you know on average from that, you're going to get maybe 2 or 3 calls booked in. And from those 2 or 3 calls, you know you have a close rate of 30%. So on average, right, if you get the 3 calls per week, you're going to get 1 client per week. That is 4 clients in an entire month. So by knowing these numbers, we can start to manipulate this number here. Okay, so we can start doing more outreach. But you might be saying, look, I don't have time. That's 20 messages a day is the most I can do. Well, now that we know what you're getting back, so we know that you're getting one client, and let's say it's one client for 1,000 per month. So we know that this 20 messages a day is bringing in one client. We can now value what's the cost of sending each message. So if we take 1,000 per month divided by the total number of messages you're sending, we get a number of around 7. So that means that essentially you're getting $7 for every message you're sending. Now, $7 is high. Realistically, it's going to be lower. You're going to have to send more than 20 to get one client. But just for argument's sake, and for this example, let's just go with that. Now, if you're sending those 20 messages in 1 hour, that means that you're getting paid, right? You're getting revenue in of roughly 7 times 60. So if we take now the 1,000 per week that you get, and we divide it then by the amount of outreach you're doing, which we mentioned was 20 messages, and that's roughly an hour a day. Well, if we just do simple maths of 1,000 divided by 7, that brings us out with a figure of 142.85. So that means that this hour of work is producing $143 in revenue. Now, the easiest way, because you know your numbers now, and you know how profitable that activity is guess what? You get someone else to do it with you. So you still do 1 hour a day, but now you have a virtual assistant who also does 1 hour per day. Now, a virtual assistant is going to set you back probably $3 per day. And that's $3 per day, and that is doing 1 hour of outreach. That means that you're going to pay them $21 for an entire week of 1 hour per day of outreach. Now, because we know that we're roughly getting one client for that, that means that we can pretty much put in $21 and get 1,000 back. I don't know about you, but to me, that is an incredible return on investment. So in my agency, we know these numbers. We know them very, very well because we track everything on a weekly basis. We track the number of DMs we're sending, the number of case studies we send out, the number of calls we get, and the number of clients. So we can see the entire process. We know exactly how much one client costs us. So to get one client for my agency, it ranges from about anywhere as low as $30 all the way up to about $150. So for argument's sake, let's say you bring on a client for $500 per month and they're staying with you for 3 months, that's 1.5K, and it's costing you around $150. That's still absolutely incredible. 10% of your revenue, yes, it's going to go back to someone, your VA, right, who's helping you get those clients. So it means that your agency gets to keep 90% of that. And so that's the first step in this whole process, right? It's knowing your numbers on the outreach side. Because as I mentioned, we can manipulate these numbers very, very easily. As long as you have enough team members, and again, you know your numbers on that side too, right? You know how many team members you need, how many contractors you need for every 5 to 10 clients, you will be set. It's a simple maths equation then. If you're bringing in too many clients, you obviously start to hire. And then what you can do is you can overhire, right? So you have, instead of one person coming in full time, you have 2 people coming in on 20 or 25 hours per week each. So now you know, because you know your numbers, each person who's coming in can handle 5 clients, let's say. Well, that means then for each person you hire, you can bring in 5 new clients. So it's a very, very simple maths equation. We keep just tweaking the numbers in the different areas that we need to get to the result that we want. So guys, this is why knowing your numbers literally will be that thing that will pull you to that next level. Now look, I definitely know people, right, who don't really study their numbers like this and don't break it down on a weekly basis. And I know some people that are making really, really good money. But a problem that a lot of those people have is a lack of clarity, right? So it's a lack of clarity of when they're going to get their next client because they've no idea. They've no idea how much it costs to get a new client. They've no system in place. And they've never tracked anything like this. So then when they do decide to hire someone, let's say an appointment setter or someone who's going to come in and generate leads for your agency, they have no idea what to charge. They have no idea of what their worth is. If I was to hire an appointment setter, I have the exact numbers, right? I could literally say to them, well, look, I'll pay you anywhere from $20 to $150 per client. And we just pick a number in between there, and that makes sense. And the beauty of this as well is, as I mentioned, we track not just the cost per client, but the cost per call, the cost per email, and the cost per DM. So we know exactly what those numbers are. So if we need to hire an appointment setter for we'll pay you for every client, we know the number. If we're going to hire you on a we'll pay you for every call, we know the number. And if we want to hire them on a basis of we'll hire you for every email you get for us, we know the number. So to know your numbers, you need to have systems, all right? So if you are not tracking anything in your business, you need to start right now. Even if you don't have clients, I want you to start tracking. If you're doing outreach and you're doing calls, you need to track how much you're doing. Because if you're taking calls and you've been taking calls for the last few months and you don't have a client, something is going wrong. You might have had 10 or 20 calls and 0 clients. That's not good. That's a really, really low close rate. In fact, it's a 0% close rate. You want to have that close rate up as high as you possibly can. Most agencies will really vary, right? Because it depends on where your leads are coming from. If they're coming inbound or referrals, they're way easier to close. Whereas if it's outbound outreach, which is what we do and how we get most of our clients, we know that our close rate is going to be slightly lower. Okay, so it might be in and around 30, 35%. So that's my message to you, right? It's know your numbers, start tracking them right now, even if you're not bringing in revenue and you don't have clients. But this is especially important if you do have clients and you know that you want to build this into a proper, scalable, and predictable business. This is what you're going to have to do. Everyone inside my 6-figure accelerator program gets access to my outreach tracker, both for cold emails and Instagram and LinkedIn outreach. And this alone has probably made people so much money because they're implementing these systems, they know the numbers, and then they know how to hire, when to hire, how much to pay, and they know exactly how much each client is actually costing. So look, I can't stress this enough. Just know your numbers, know them inside out, start tracking. And of course, if you want to get access to the trackers I give to everyone in my program, of course, you can click the link down below and you can sign up and get access. We also host a coaching call every Monday inside the program. So if you are thinking of joining, you won't just get my templates and trackers, you will get everything you need. So you'll get that one-to-one support from me, plus you'll get the support from people in a group where they're all building their own agencies. So I hope you got value from this video. I definitely enjoyed making it and kind of just ranting about knowing your numbers. There's no script for this video, guys. It was just off the cuff. Let me talk about this really, really key thing and a thing that I know is so important. So hopefully you got value. If you're new here, definitely hit the subscribe button. And if you did get value, definitely hit the like button. It gives me a good sign so I know to make more videos like this. Otherwise, I will just make more videos of the videos that got the most likes and the most engagement. So definitely let me know in the comments or by leaving a like. And if you don't want to join my program just yet, but you want to join a free Facebook group that we have, definitely click the link which is also down in the description. And hopefully I will see you very soon.